You've made it more erotic. You've made it more sapphic, which the Letterboxd community really thanks you for.
I'm so excited for them.
The Letterboxd community is one of the most deeply important communities in my life, so that means a lot to me.
This is based on the incredible Ibsen play.
Yeah.
So what drew you both to that original play?
I mean, it was Hedda, the central character. I just found her to be fascinating. I was fascinated by this man, Henrik Ibsen, who wrote this woman because, the first play I read, and I think the first play most people read of Ibsen is A Doll's House, which is probably his most perfect play. It's
so good.
It's unreal, but that character is so controversial. She decides to leave her family at the end of the play, and you're like, wow. Even now, if we made a movie about a woman leaving her family, it'd be controversial. I was like, wow, it's amazing. Okay, and then I get to Hedda, and I'm like, excuse me? Like, it's just like even more upping the ante, like really challenging the audience with a woman like this. And I thought that was so brave and amazing. And also, he doesn't let her off the hook. He doesn't let the audience off the hook. He's not like, and this is why she's the way she is. I mean, she has a lot of pressures and she's hemmed in, but he really, it's just beautiful writing. And so I was like, what a gift to us as viewers and people who love complex women, and I'm so happy that I got to adapt it.
In this case, the thing that really compelled me the most is Nia's adaptation of it. I just thought what she did so brilliantly, not just to rearrange the furniture, but really to change the architecture of the piece and bring it into sharper focus in terms of its observations around the female experience. I just thought it was so captivating, and she's my favorite person to work with, so it's kind of the package deal really sold me. Yeah. It's really a gift to get to have, spend a decade making things alongside each other, but also just to get to support each other in all of our various ventures, and to get, for this project, Hedda to be the first project that is under my banner, Viva Mod, which has been such a labor of love building that company over the last handful of years. And for this to be the first piece that we get to launch feels really auspicious for me. And the truth is, like, even if were I not in the frame, I would have happily produced this movie, because I think what the film is after and what it wants to do and the conversation it wants to start is exactly the kind of work that I think is so important to be making. So I'm just so honored and can't believe that I got to both produce this thing and exist in the frame. I would have just been a runner getting coffee for this movie. You wouldn't do as I say?
Not where that is concerned, no.
I think you should.
And the changes that you've made, I mean, as you were saying, it was already a feminist work, but then you've moved it from 19th century Norway to mid-century London. You've jazzed it up.
Theater, the play takes place in one room. And that room could be any room. That room could be anywhere. It gives you the opportunity to reimagine it in your own image. And so my changes were about just cutting into the themes that I really liked in the play and that I want to see amplified. It's not unlike what I did on Little Woods, where I was like, my story is about women and I want it to be about healthcare and women in a rural part of America. Didn't know it would be set in North Dakota. And once it was set there, then it became about the oil boom and the opioid crisis. And all that emphasized the themes I was already wrestling with. So Hedda's the same. I just made choices in order to amplify my prism of the piece. In addition to the setting and time changes, I also really appreciated how you changed the characters as well. Like Loveberg is now a woman. Nina Haas, incredible. Yeah. It's so funny because I didn't really think about the fact that I was going to be making sapphic stirrings, the film. I was just like, this character needs to be a woman because the themes of the piece need to, through these three women, this needs to be about three women and the parallel paths they take to agency, to personhood, and them all looking at each other saying, oh, you did it that way, you did it that way, I did it this way. And then you get the read where you're like, oh, these queer women are, on top of everything else, these women are queer and they're trying, which they're not even gonna, the fact that Loveberg's even but I'm not gonna talk about it, but and the other two are grappling with that in different ways. It again emphasizes the themes even more. It's like you're hemmed in by society for all these reasons, for who you are. Hedda is so thematically focused on control and desire and the desire to control, and she's such an interesting, complex character that we just don't really get to see. So Tessa, I'm curious, what did you savor about getting to play Hedda?
Oh, so many things. I think just taking up just the sheer circumference of the dress, the invitation to take up size and space. I think when you're playing a scene, you're best when you play with childlike abandon. And I think there's a certain spirit, Nia says it so brilliantly, that Hedda acts on her intrusive thoughts. So I sometimes think of the way that Hedda behaves as like a child without conditioning. And so that invitation too. And also that we wanted to create a Hedda and a world that had its own buoyancy and also was funny, because we think that Hedda Gabler is a tragic character, but also a very funny piece. So I think the invitation also to find that, to find humor inside of darkness.
Nia, you have all these horror roots, and you're continuing to make incredible horror films. And Hedda sometimes feels like a horror at times. It's the horror of this independent woman who is trapped and caged. So I'm wondering how your horror sensibilities informed the story.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, there were certain moments, in particular in the score, working with Hilda, who also scored 28, Mike 28. Moments in the score where it feels like you're walking into a very dark place. The whole movie, I think, plays with the genre. It's like there's like some horror moments, there's some truly farcical moments, I was so excited to do.
And I'm so glad you brought up Hilda, because the score is incredible, and the music in general, that was another change where in the play you don't get to see any parties.
Yeah, it all happens off stage.
Exactly, but here you get to throw that party and put us in that room, and the jazz standards are so incredible, like that were later covered by Ella Fitzgerald and Bjork, and I loved every time a song came up. I was so happy. So I'm curious, like, take me to that party set. Like, what was that environment like? And just, you got to dance. Tell me all about it.
It was really fun. I mean, it really was very jovial. And I think anytime you do pieces like that, because choreography to move inside of that and really felt like a dance with not just the actors, but with our camera crew and the operators. And I think you build so much trust when you play as a company like that, because you're kind of needing to move as one organism. And then what was also especially fun is trying to reveal something around character. Like, I would say that's the one moment in the piece where you get to see this character really express freedom. I can't say enough about our cast, all of our supporting cast, down to folks that you never speak, but people the world. I mean, the generosity, they would be on set even when they weren't on camera, just to create energy and to give us something to play off of. And like, I left every morning, many mornings, because we would do night shoots, just like so grateful to everybody, because I feel like that kind of energy gets communicated on film in a way. And last night it was so cool because we had the premiere and then we had our party, and the party felt so energetic. I was like, oh, people that have just left this movie are now like partying. Like people were dancing, drinking martinis, people were going outside smoking cigarettes. I was like, this is great. This is maybe that means they worked. I don't know. Yeah.
Just because we're Letterboxd and we love championing movies and recommending movies, is there a play adaptation that you think is particularly incredible that you would like to recommend to Letterboxd members?
Okay, there's a brilliant movie called Vanya and 42nd that is amazing. Yes. And if you haven't seen it, see it. It's not a complete straightforward adaptation, but it's so good.
I haven't seen that one. Well, to go down the Vanya thing again, not really an adaptation, but very much in the movie, Drive My Car.
Yes.
Oh, dear God. I mean, such a special film. And I think it's a really, it shows how you can take something like a play and that story and the themes and create this whole other piece and have the play exist within it, but what you've created amplifies what the play is doing in itself. So it's a remarkable film. So I think that would be mine.
Okay, can I have one more? This is not a straightforward adaptation, but Waiting for Guffman is one of the best, and that's just about putting on a play, but it's so good. Christopher Guest, if people haven't seen that, you have to see that. It'll just be, you'll love it. So joyous.
That's good.